Hello everyone, today is officially day number 3 of the Master Cleanse. Now, yesterday I decided to do a little experiment. I was a little curious. I decided to have a cup of coffee in the morning yesterday. I went 5 days in a row without drinking any coffee at all. The first couple days of not drinking coffee weren't super hard, but I did find I was craving coffee in the morning. I was craving some caffeine, and I did feel overall more sleepy, I guess. Not super tired. I still had a lot of energy, but I kind of just felt like like I was sleepy, I guess. But I felt a lot more calm. Like my body felt a lot more calm, and I felt really good. Like I felt less stressed out and a lot less, I guess, manic type of energy in my mind. I know caffeine tends to release adrenaline and cortisol, so that's probably why I didn't get that rush of adrenaline and cortisol that I'm used to getting. But yesterday I decided to I just wanted to see what it was like to go back on caffeine. I wasn't particularly craving it, but I just wanted to see how it would affect me after staying off of it for a few days. And to be honest, I didn't really notice that much difference. I didn't have a very big cup. I had a 10-ounce cup of coffee, just a small cup of coffee. I drank in the morning around 10:30. But here's the thing, I realized that it really did affect me a lot, because I did not sleep last night. I had, I guess you could call it insomnia, maybe caffeine-induced insomnia, which I'm surprised because I drank that cup of coffee at 10:30 in the morning, and now it's 1:40 p.m. the next day, so it's been what, 27 hours, about 27 hours since I had that cup of coffee, and I still haven't slept yet. I am pretty tired now. I'll let you know that. I feel pretty sleepy and pretty, kind of out of balance. Kind of out of balance, to be honest. But that really shows how much of an effect caffeine has, because again, I didn't have that big of a cup. I drank it before noon. I could understand if I drank it in the evening or in the afternoon if I wasn't able to sleep, but I drank it in the morning. And I remember I started drinking coffee for the first time when I was out of high school. In university for the first time, and I'm in university now doing my second degree, but when I first graduated high school, I did my business degree, and that's when I started drinking coffee. My friends would go study, grab a cup of coffee. We had a Tim Hortons on campus, and so I started drinking coffee. And when I first started drinking coffee, I realized I started having sleepless nights. I couldn't sleep due to the caffeine, and that seems to be what's happening now. Overall, I wanted to stop drinking coffee anyway, because I realize it has a huge impact on the release of adrenaline and cortisol, which is not good. I'm not saying that, like, if you drink coffee it's bad or anything, but just be aware, I guess, of how things affect you. I know with me, if I drink a cup of coffee, then a lot of times later in the day I'll want to have another cup of coffee, and that's when it's not good. A lot of people, they drink coffee. Basically, we have a natural rhythm throughout our day, so our energy might go up and down, up and down. We have a rhythm, and our body does that intentionally. It's basically because we're supposed to be active and then kind of have a form of rest throughout the day, and then kind of be more active and then have a form of rest throughout the day. And that's just like our body's natural way of kind of conserving and managing our energy levels. And what happens is that throughout the day we might have that peak, and then we'll have that natural crash. But as we're going down, we say, oh crap, I have stuff to do, I'm busy, I have a busy day. So as we're going down, we feel that dip, we have that craving for caffeine, and then we force it back up. Now, instead of resting, we're forcing ourselves to be pumping all of this energy, and that could lead to adrenal fatigue, kind of wearing out our adrenals, and overall increasing our blood pressure. And if we increase our blood pressure, especially chronically or a lot during the day, that means a lot of pressure is being pressed against our blood vessels. And our blood vessels, they're kind of like elastic. So you imagine if you pull an elastic and snap it back in place, you know, that's not that big of a deal. It's going to snap back in place and it's going to maintain its integrity. Sort of like if you go for a run and your blood pressure goes up, well, it'll go back down. It's okay. But if we maintain that state of constant blood pressure, that's where we could run into trouble. So if our blood pressure is constantly, a lot of the times, 140 over 110 or something, which is a very high blood pressure throughout the day, that's sort of similar to, imagine stretching an elastic, but keep pulling it really, like pulling that elastic and holding it there, or keep pulling it back and forth. Then after a while, the elastic's going to weaken. It's not going to snap back in place the way it used to. It's going to start to wear and tear, and you know, it's not going to snap back the way it used to. And so that's similar with our blood vessels. If we have a constant blood pressure on our blood vessels, then it's going to weaken the blood vessels over time, and it could lead to heart problems. And that's something I don't want to even deal with. Also, I noticed that when I drink coffee and my blood pressure is high and my cortisol is higher, I do feel more stressed out during the day. My mind's more manic. I get more like anxiety. I even procrastinate more, so I might even have more like energy in my body. But since I have kind of maybe more stress, I'm more thinking about stressful things, like, oh, I have all of this to do, and my mind starts spinning, and I kind of go a little bit out of control. I actually find when I'm in a calmer state, I could focus better. I might not have that peak of energy, but I could focus better. And so overall, I just think that cutting out caffeine is a good idea for me. I was going to test to see if like having a cup of coffee every once in a while would be a good idea. Give me a little perk every once in a while, because I enjoy the feeling, to be honest. Like I enjoy, you know, the few hours after I drink a cup of coffee. But to be honest, I didn't really notice that much of a difference compared to the days prior after drinking that cup of coffee. So the downsides, they outweighed really the benefits that I got from drinking the coffee. I kind of, yeah, I feel like I felt it a little bit. Like I felt like I did have a little bit more focus and a little bit more energy throughout the day after drinking that cup of coffee, but not really a whole lot more. Like, it was a very subtle difference. But the problem is I wasn't able to sleep last night, so now I feel like out of balance. 4 in the morning last night, it threw off my diet because we have chocolate in the house because we had Halloween, and we we had a bunch of chocolate for trick-or-treaters, and no trick-or-treaters came to our house. Probably because we're kind of close to the exit to the highway, so maybe just parents think it's dangerous there. Anyway, we have a bunch of chocolate in our house, so at 4 in the morning I was like, whatever, and I ate a chocolate bar. So the lack of sleep is kind of leading me to cravings. It's kind of leading me to like this out of balance feeling, and so overall drinking caffeine just it's not going to be a good idea for me overall, and so I'm going to cut it out. Alright guys, peace.